this is relevant because I need to crack some eggs. I'm going to make an omelet. So deviant behavior courses, unfortunately, I ended up taking one too many of those. And one of the first things they'll teach you is there are certain things in society that you probably won't get up to. Why? Because you have too much to lose. In other words, family, friends, etc., etc., social standing, and or your monetary bullshit, your physical items, etc., etc. You don't want these things to be taken away from you. You don't want your mom and your dad to be ashamed of you. You don't want your friends and family to look on you in a poor light, for lack of better words. So you march in lockstep with your horse blinders on. You don't do the right thing because you're afraid. This factors into a lot of things, one of which has to do with 2020 to present day in terms of people doing the right fucking thing. And it's very unlikely people will. This is also, imagine that, suspend your disbelief, but this is also the same parameters that social credit slavery will function within. In other words, your physical items, but in particular your bank account, will be on the line. You don't do what you're supposed to do. You say the wrong things online. You don't march in lockstep with your horse blinders on, and you'll end up with a monetary sanction. Or something worse. And or jail time. And or worse down the line, quite literally executions if I'm correct. And all of this is based on this is so fuzzy, the basic idea behind, what did I begin this with? Deviant behavior, for the lack of better words, and why people march in lockstep with their horse blinders on. Now, you could think about Chuck Palahniuk's Fight Club. You can think about the line in there, it's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything. I'm paraphrasing it, mind you. But most people have too many things. This is another reason why materialism, for a very long time, has been at the forefront of people's minds. To train you and I. The flip side to that is, the nuclear family has been systematically torn down, which also caters to why these agendas are coming together. Why they're coming to fruition, for lack of better words. I'm not going to spell all of that out. You could use your brain, but most of you probably are incapable and or unwilling to do so. As always, what the fuck do I know? Like I said, I need to crack some eggs. And that's meant to be funny, but also function as a shitty analogy.
Starting tomorrow, Meta is going to read your Instagram DMs, and 11 days later, a law goes into effect that requires them to scan your messages. Right now, if you turned on encrypted DMs, your Instagram messages were locked and not even Meta could read them. From the moment you hit send to the moment your friend saw it, it was all encrypted and nobody had access to your messages. Meta's official reason for removing this feature is that very few people were opting in. But here's what they did not mention. On May 19th, the Take It Down Act goes into effect in the United States. It requires every platform to detect and remove certain types of content after being reported, including AI-generated content. Now, a platform that can't read its own messages cannot comply with that law. So Meta had two choices: add proper encryption across the platform or kill it. And you guessed it right, they picked the option that gives them more data and kill encryption and privacy. Meta also recently confirmed that conversations with their AI inside private chats can be used for targeted ads. And their AI has been training on user interactions for over a year already. If you want your Instagram DMs to stay private, too late for that. Move private conversations to Signal, which is completely private and a non-profit that runs on donations, not ads. Side note, this video is not sponsored by Signal. I'm just a privacy maxi who wants people to use technology that's not spying on them or stealing their data to train AI models or run ads on them.